because I heard somewhere that if you're on time, you're late. So here we are a little bit early, 1 minute early, but that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. So welcome to the August episode of Laja TV. And August is a very special month, as is every month for us. But August this time is special because on August 26th, it is World Women's Equality Day. Now, what is it, and how does it impact us? I'll let you know in a little while. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Lajja. So I, Vandana Joshal, am the Chief Operating Officer of Lajja and the Managing Director of Laja TV. And Lajja, for those of you who do not know what Lajja is the first forum in India that works towards women's development, their learning, growth, and through all of this helps women empower themselves. The key here is about empowering themselves because unless you want to do something for yourself, there really isn't much that we can do for you. So I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink it, right? So that is what Lajja does. It helps you with your development, it helps you with learning, it helps you with your growth, and through all of that, works towards your self empowerment. We've got chapters across the country. We've got 5 chapters in Maharashtra, 5 chapters in Gujarat. We have a chapter in Delhi. We have a chapter in Hyderabad, and we are forever open to opening chapters anywhere else. We're looking at 2 tier and 3 tier cities because women over there are just as hardworking, if not more, than those in urban cities. So let's reach out. If you have anybody who you believe can lead a chapter, let us know and we would love to reach out to her. How does Laja work on the learning, growth, and development? We do it through skills development workshops, through vocational skills training, through mentorship, through hand holding, through peer audits, through self audits, through audits done by our founder, Riddhi Doshi Patel. We have monthly learning meets, coffee meets. We have an annual conclave that happens somewhere around November. We are planning one this time soon. We'll be announcing the details shortly. And every year, the conclave focuses on one particular aspect of a woman's life. We have done physical health, we have done mental well being, we have done relationships, we have done senior citizens, we have also spoken about entrepreneurship and startups. And I believe this time's Tatwa will also be focusing on startups, entrepreneurs, and specifically women entrepreneurs, because we are here to support you, to help you grow. So all of that is happening. Plus, we also have Laja Talks, which is a platform that gives women a space to stand up and share their inspiring stories. So we have one in August. It's happening on the 24th of August in Pune, and this is our second cycle. So we have finished 1 year. We started off in Mumbai in 2023. We've finished a year, and we've been very happy with the kind of response we have got. And so now we are in Pune. So please, please, please try and make it if you are in Pune. Otherwise, just be there and follow us for more details. Now coming back to why August is special. So August 26th is Women's Equality Day. This has been declared by the UN. And on March 8th, which was Women's Day, the UN declared the theme for this year. And the theme is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Sounds fancy, sounds interesting, sounds intriguing. To explain what it really means and to also share their journey, talk about the challenges they have faced, talk about the learnings that they have incurred, and to talk about their overall experience as entrepreneurs themselves are 2 amazing women who are joining me today. So let me, without wasting any further time, go right into introducing these women. Joining us first is Shabia Walia. She is the founder and owner of Wild Earth and is a media professional for the past 29 years. Dabbling in production, direction, writing, she is proficient in all aspects of the media world. She also has authored the best selling book Mamma Mia, written and co produced a film Badnaam Gali on Z5, penned Anupama Namaste America for Hotstar, and uh, Katilal and Sons for Sub TV. She currently writes Pushpa Impossible, Wagle Ki Dunya, and Dil Diya Galla for Sub TV, apart from developing concepts for other channels. She's also been a part of IIT and IIM last year, having been selected for the esteemed entrepreneurship programs. She's managed to ace both the programs, creating a mark for herself, and I wouldn't doubt it. She's also an alumni of the Goldman Sachs Growth Fellowship 2022, the the Cherry Blair Foundation Mentorship Program for Entrepreneurs, WEE Foundation 10K Entrepreneurs Program by NSRCEL, IIM Bangalore. So that is Shabia for you. That is quite a mouthful. And I hope I have done justice, Shabia.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours. And joining Shabia and me today is Shitu Anand Patil. She is the National Creative Director of Publicis India. She's a design thinker and a visual artist with a passion and enterprise for building brands. Shitu is a specialist in lifestyle, luxury, branding, and communication. With a career spanning over 2 decades in the design and advertising industry, her experience includes a wide range of integrated design strategy, branding, and communication solutions for some of India's Fortune 500 companies. She, as a global expert in typography, Shitu has also been a jury in the typography craft at the coveted D and AD Awards twice in a row. Prior to joining Publicis Group, Shitu was running Plus One Design, a design agency that she co-founded 10 years ago. She was involved in building brands to strategic design and content solutions to bring about transformative change in business and society. Both our speakers, our guests have won great amount of awards. And if I go into that, I think we'll end the entire episode just talking about their awards. So let me
Quite a
welcome
mouthful.
Shitu, welcome Shabia.
Thanks, Vandana. So nice to meet you again.
Yes, same here. So without wasting any further time, let us jump right into the questions. The first one, what does the UN's theme as Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress truly imply? Are we talking about financial aid or learning or development? Or is it something that we really don't know much about? Shabia.
So my understanding of it and whatever I have been following their theme for this year is that they want to do this at multiple levels, right? And it should be done at multiple levels. Otherwise, it will just be a superficial exercise. So the first one is what they're targeting is probably resources, which is not only financial resources, but also easier access for women to credit, right? To banks, to systems. Another thing is when you come to women, inheritance of land, from
Hmm.
forefathers, from ancestors, that directly goes to the men. Women don't have access to it. So one of the things they are targeting is definitely resources in terms of finance. The other interesting thing what they're targeting is time. What they're saying is caregiving naturally falls upon the women of the house. And if you think about it, it's actually a payless job. So while the woman is
Yeah.
looking after the benefits of the entire family, looking after them, the sick, the elderly, the husband, the children, she's actually not getting paid for it. Now, when you don't give a woman time, of course, you're not giving her money, but you're also not giving her time for herself. When women don't get time for themselves, that intellectual stimulation, the urge to do more, the urge to start multiple businesses or look beyond their home and hearth, or put their intelligence to use, all that doesn't happen. A woman who gets me time is like a power force, right? So that's what they are aiming at, that women should get that time, and whatever time they invest in family should be paid for, or at least should be recognized in whatever monetarily way possible, right? The third thing what they are aiming at is security. Okay, so women are always at a vulnerable juncture, right? Whether they're working in a workplace where they can be right from sexually assaulted to molested to bad jokes to reading between the lines and passing sexual comments. from there to, out in the world where especially in India, security is a big issue, right? You cannot travel in the dark, you cannot go out at night. So they're also looking at security, that women should feel secure, because when a woman feels secure, either at home or in the workplace or out there in the business world, then she tends to do better, because that's one thing less playing on her mind. So that's the third one. So we had resources, financial resources, we had time, we had security. The fourth thing what they are trying is jobs. So equal transparency. So if there are applications, then it is 50-50 for both men and women, and not 70-30 or 90-10 like we do in most offices in India. Then equal pay. So you will see a large disparity in the amount of work, even in terms of Bollywood, huge film
Mm.
stars, women film stars who are doing extremely well. They get paid one-fourth of what the hero gets paid for. So it's not only that only middle class women or lower middle class, it's there everywhere, right? So they're definitely
Everywhere.
targeting equal pay, because when you get equal money as the men, you feel empowered in your head, right? You feel, so they're trying to make it an equal playing field. We don't want men to pull chairs for us or open the car doors. We want an equal playing field. Na hame devi banao, na hame kachre mein dalo. We want an equal playing field. Okay, so that's what they're targeting at. We definitely want our voices amplified. We want seats at the board table. We want inclusivity. So even at home, when the men take decisions, we want to be included. So that's what the UN is saying.
Absolutely.
And when you take a decision for the family, include the woman, because she's the one who's going to do it day after day after day while you go to office. Fathers should ask their daughters what they want. Men should ask their wives what they want. So that's the next thing which they are trying to do. And the last thing which they are trying to do is rights, right? Because actually, even if only 64%, the percentage of legal rights which women have is only 64% of what men have. That's the disparity. It's almost 46% of disparity there. Secondly, whatever
Yes.
rights we have, we are not aware of them. Nobody makes us aware. The men
Yes.
don't tell us, our fathers don't tell us, our brothers don't tell us, our husbands don't tell us. So there's no awareness of what we are entitled to. Like a lot of women might not
And we
know that
don't
they
bother
are
to find out.
actually, yeah, that they can actually inherit their father's money, right? They can do kanyadan, they can do last will, even rituals, right? Even in rituals, you cannot bury your parents because you are not allowed to go to the graveyard. I mean, I find this shit. Why not? So awareness, accountability, that when these legal rights are not given to us, then who is accountable? Where do we go? So I
Yes.
think it's a brilliant a prong plan kind of thing, where resources, time, security, jobs, and rights. If all these get implemented, then what they are really trying to do will get achieved. But having said that, it's not easy. It says to achieve, equality, it will take us 300 years. That's the time frame.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but as
Yes.
much as I say that all this the UN will do, I think women also have to fight for it. It's only when we ask for it that so many times I've realized that when I ask for it, I get it. इट्स लाइक अच्छा पूछ लिया तो
Ah.
इसको पता है तो दे दो यार. हम पूछते ही नहीं हैं, क्योंकि हमें सिखाया जाता है कि मांगो मत, पूछो मत. इट्स
Mm.
ग्रीड. women should not ask, women should be sacrificing. So I think it starts at that level. What are we teaching our daughters? What are we teaching? Why are we teaching them that some prince is going to come and help them and come on a white horse and take them away? Why are we telling her wear that slipper? No, we don't need horses. We need don't need slipper. We already have the wings. We can fly. We don't need the men to come and give us those glass slippers. So it starts there. The fairy tales we tell our children at night, the fairy tales we tell our daughters, that a prince is always rescuing us. I rescue my husband many times. My husband doesn't rescue me. So I don't need the Cinderella kind of stories. I think for me, it will start there. And then, of course, the UN is that global impact which can create. So that's my understanding of it.
Wow, that was quite in depth. But all said and done, like you said, if it has to boil down to the grassroots, especially in India, it'll take more than 300 years. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and let's pray that if not our daughters, then their daughters
Yeah,
will get something from
that's
this.
the happens. That's the
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
I think the last point is something that I totally agree. I just one thing I would like to add is awareness, right? With everything that they're doing. That I think is really, really important because I think we sit in a very privileged position, right? Especially like in a workplace that I am now, equality is a way of life. It's a different situation. But when it comes down to grassroots level, rural India, rural places, it's a very different scene. That and one thing which is about I feel unpaid work for women, which completely goes unnoticed. You know,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to a country like ours, you know, which women do like so much work. I mean, just compare, even if we, when we are at home, vis-a-vis that goes across different stratas,
Yes.
right? Of every women are generally doing a lot more work, domestic work, which is unpaid for, unnoticed. What about that? I think I mean, UN is also bringing that in forefront, which is, I think, amazing, because that's something that we as women also don't question ourselves on. We're so used to
Yes.
conditioned living in that
It's a
way,
given.
mindset. Yeah, these are things you don't even talk about because, you know, you don't think it's important enough. It's just coded in our DNA, you know, that this is
Yes.
the way of life. In fact, a very interesting, you know, I was talking to my son yesterday, and there was a very interesting story that he told me. Okay, which is very funny. You know, 19, because actually Shabia has said whatever is relevant, but what is really stayed with me is this unpaid labor thing, you know, that because that even I don't think about that, you know, forget women in rural India or smaller
True.
setups. We don't think about it, you know, since childhood we are taught to be living in a certain way that you are supposed to be doing this, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way it is, and it's you're conditioned to do it. So very interesting, in 1975 there was this you know, Icelandic strike. I don't know if you guys know about that.
No, no.
Which is 1975 is what I'm talking about, right? When
Yeah.
90% of Icelandic women, they went on a strike, you know, because of the disparity in pay at that time in their country. Okay, imagine 90% women going on strike. That's like almost entire womanhood going on strike. And
Yes.
guess what happened by the end of it? The stores
What?
ran out of sausages. Can you believe that?
Okay. Okay. So the men were eating only sausages.
So that is known. There are memes on that, you know, the day when sausages ran out, apparently. That's what my kid told me about.
Ah.
No, you're talking about this, but
Oh.
you know what about the story? And I was like,
Ah.
So,
Interesting.
Shito, to add to
look
it,
at that.
to add to what you're saying, a very stark reality is that in places, because we're planning our documentary on this, me and my husband, in places where the water is less. So how climate, change and women are related. Places where the water is going down below the water table and things like that. You know, men are marrying multiple times because the first wife has become older, so she cannot carry the water from long distances. So they go and marry a younger girl who can. So what happens? This is again, disparity there, because when the older one stops bringing the water and the younger one is bringing, the younger one starts getting more attention from the man. So it's actually the woman fighting with the woman, and they are called water wives. And men, fathers are very
Yes.
happy to give their daughters to men who want women to fetch their water. It is such a, I mean, it's
Look
such
at
an
this.
appalling thing, and there's no payment for
Yeah,
that. It's just for that attention. And we women are fighting amongst ourselves also. So
Ourselves for
clearly,
this.
me sitting here, exactly what you said, we are very privileged. We have got a voice. We are being called on Lajja to speak. But these women, they are not even realizing how they are being used. And forget asking for pay and all, to bahut baat ki baat hai. They are trying to
बहुत
just
दूर की बात है.
get the
exactly.
man's attention by fetching six
Yeah,
bowls of water
how
in a day.
disgusting is that? And I think awareness in education, I think, uh, of course, financial aid and within that thing is the biggest thing. But when the
Yes,
whole world is running after growth, I think to bring, at any cost, to bring attention back to this, I think is something amazing. And
absolutely.
It's very, very important.
yeah,
So coming back to this thing of accelerate growth, while we understand what the UN is trying to do and all of that, as women who have set up your own businesses wherever they are right now, I believe Shabia has sold it to somebody, and of course with stakes in it. She too has also taken a break from her own businesses. But the point here is, you did start at some point, and when you did start, where do you go for the funds? I mean, do you take it out of your kitty? Do you, where can women actually, who can they approach for funds? And
interesting.
how do they approach? So Shitu, I think you can go with this.
Yeah, yeah. So I think as a startup, okay, as a thumb rule, I think funds and investing is, I think, overrated as a startup, and the fad words, I feel. As a startup, if you're self-funded, the longer, that's what I learned, the longer you're self-funded, the longer you can survive on your own with bank loans, with personal loans, or whatever, from family, is it's the best. So the best way, I think, is to go about accessing, if you're talking about money, take loans from bank or your own personal savings or families, but not go in for investor money. I think that
Okay,
should come,
interesting, huh?
that should, I think, as a, yeah, because that's what I learned over a period of time, and through many other stories, that it's best that it comes a little later in your journey. Best when your business is established to a certain level, and you want to scale up to another level and grow it to that level, but it needs to be stable enough and profitable enough on its own, till you're self-funded. So I think the first thing that women can generally go for are the government loans, because I think there are so many of them now in our country. The basic one, I think, there are this President Yojana, which is the least amount of interest rate that they give at the moment. I mean, like, as in, the interest is lesser, and it's just up to 10 lakhs, but it's without any collaterals. So
Okay.
that's the best, I think, first thing that you can go to. There are lots of government other schemes, like once you go, Raja, for manufacturing businesses, in fact, especially, there is this Mahila Bank, I don't know what it was called, some Bharatiya Mahila Bank. Okay, they give up to
Okay.
like 2 CR, and
Oh,
no, sorry, 20 CR, I think, and 1 CR without collaterals also. So you can, like, there's so many, the fact is, there's so many government really supports women in that sense. And again, I think awareness is a problem there. A lot of women don't know that they even exist. I think, and I'm just talking about
yes.
you. There's so many of them. Government is one, and then there are also private lenders, right? Like one of the clients that we have here, that I work with, Publicis India now, right? So like my business is currently run by my husband. I've like packed off from that last two years back. I ran it for 10 years, but my husband is running that now. So now in this organization, you have a client, Godrej Capital, right? Like, I know for a fact that they also do a lot of things for women, and
Yes.
they have loans up to 50 lakhs, which can be easily accessed. So there's so many private lenders and government bodies, I would say, where you can lend money from. And like I said, investor money should be the last thing that you go to as a startup initially. Yeah,
Yes.
because
Yes.
a lot of there are many challenges there. Maybe we'll talk about it later. I think it's I personally feel, when you start your business, you need that freedom, and your space to play, create, and make mistakes, and learn, and which can, and if you have investor money, it can be very daunting, as a
True.
startup. So yeah, I think that's very
True. True.
important.
Yes. But like you said, Shitu, what is important here is again awareness. I do not know of many women who really know all of this. Uh, you're ready to start off a business. One is many women who want to start off a business are already second guessing themselves and second guessing the fact that they'll fail.
Yeah.
So when you're already in that kind of a a mood, I don't know how much you're actually going to spend in trying to find out what all is there.
Mm.
And I think information that will come to them will come if they are asking. They'll probably ask them men folk.
Yeah.
So we're
Influencer
again stuck in that rut
loop.
kind of a thing. Yes,
Exactly.
it's a loop that you, I don't know how do you get out of that. But anyways, what do you think, Shabia? Like, I mean, it's looks interesting on Shark Tank where people come with their business ideas, make brilliant pitches, and get people to fund them. Is that really the thing to do? Or like Shitu says, go for your local loans and try to get out of get from your personal loans and things like that. Keep yourself self-funded as long as possible, and then once you're broken even, then you go and ask these big sharks. What do you say?
So Vandana, you've known my journey and you know how many times I've refused investment. I'm famous for refusing funding.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah. So, I mean, Japanese people came and said, "We want to fund your business," and I said no. And there were many men, and I say specifically men because I think men are smart enough to know when a woman has a good thing going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Right?
Here, here.
Their brains really work. So,
Yes.
having said that, I've run my business for 10 years, and I agree with Chitu that though the temptation to take funding, and I almost did take that funding, but what I learned while preparing for that funding is that I didn't need it, and it came, and you should take funding when you need it, not when others are ready to give it to you, right? So until I know
Ah,
what I'm going to do with that money, I don't think anyone should take funding. Having said that, I think in the initial stages, I have taken funds from my friends and family and returned it to them over time. And then of course, the customers sustained the business, and I think that gave me the freedom to keep it as small as I wanted it to, and then take it to wherever I wanted it to. It gave me that decision making thing. And I think the key word here is resilience and the belief in oneself that you will do it and you will ace it. We women are so capable of running our houses. We take care of so many things. We run households on budgets, on money. When you don't have money, a mother still runs the house, whether we put it in a shakkar ka
absolutely.
dabba or a piggy bank, and then we have
Yeah.
held our husbands together when they have run out of money. So I don't know why when we come to business, we start thinking that, oh, we won't do it. Okay. Secondly, and I have multiple stories of where men have refused to, like this Crawford Market vendor who said, "Oh, आप ये दोपहर में करती है ना जब बच्चे सो जाते हैं तो ऐसे नहीं जो जागे रहते हैं ना तो मैं 24 घंटे करती हूँ." So they have this tendency of
I
minusculizing
love
your
it.
efforts,
Yeah.
and he said, and I remember me telling him that. कितने जार्स आप दोगे एंड ही सेड 10,000 एक साथ 10,000 लेने पड़ेंगे एंड आई सेड आप मुझे भी 50 दीजिए एक दिन मैं जरूर आपसे 10,000 लूंगी. And I kept on going every day for like, I think 15 days and just sat there like a dumb female and kept having chai there. And he refused to acknowledge me. But on the 16th day, he did open his packet and give me 50. And you won't believe, within 9 months, I did buy 10,000 jars from him. So,
Awesome.
and
Wow.
and my husband had come that day with me and he told my husband, आपकी बीवी तो बहुत ही जिद्दी है. तो वो जिद्दी हमें बनना पड़ेगा ना. हमें जब
बनना
नहीं मिलते
पड़ेगा,
ये ऐसे तो
absolutely.
हमें बनना पड़ेगा और उसमें कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है. अगर हमें
Yeah,
कोई
yeah.
टेबल पे नहीं दे रहा सीट तो हमें छीन के लेना पड़ेगा. That's how we have to make our
Absolutely.
space. And I think having said
True.
that, in 10 years, the scenario has also really, really changed because a lot of women have
Yes.
become entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
COVID played a big game. I mean, of course, the
Yes.
downside of it was that it changed the world, but the upside of it was a lot of women realized how they could make money sitting at home, how their tiffin dabba business became tiffin dabba venture became a real business, and tutoring online. And we have so many skills,
Yeah.
stitching clothes at home and then making it into a brand. So many stories came out. And I think Shark Tank and all have really, really helped normalize things like equity, debt, and which we didn't know earlier.
Totally.
Which we did not
But
know.
yeah,
Yes.
but not taking funds and not taking investment, I have realized that it played a good part because when finally, so even when I divested my stakes last year, I didn't go looking for it. Somebody just came to my house and said, "We would like to invest in your business," and I was just getting busier with my other business, so I said, "Okay, fine. I mean, if I can be a small partner and do something else, and while my business is taken care of," and I had all
Yes.
the right to say, okay, these are my terms and conditions, and only on this term and condition will I agree to divest my business. So
Yes.
I think I agree
So
with you.
is there like a foolproof sharing thing in this? कि मेरा तो 60 आपका 40 or when you do take
See, it's very simple, Vandana, that whether you want to have 100% of the cake when it's 100 rupees or you want 10% of the cake when it's worth crores, right? So I'm being very transparent here. I now have only 10% of the business, but that 10% is more than the 100% I began with. You have to make your choices, right? So
you have to make your choices.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and of course
That's
I want to
passive.
have.
That's passive. Sorry to interrupt. I'm saying that's passive income. I
Yes,
mean,
that's
like
passive
that,
income for me.
right?
I know more. You
Yeah.
and you know me. I used to pack my own soaps, do my own hampers, and
Yes,
personally write notes to my clients and keep. I was everything. I was their customer care
everything.
number, also everything. But when I realized that my other business has started doing well now, and something on which I have been an expert for 30 years, I realized that okay, I've set this business. It's done well. People recognize the brand Wilder. So why not now? Uh, hand over the baby, let it fly. I mean, my daughter's 15 now. She's ready to fly to US. Wanted and probably dies because I'm not taking interest in it. So I think that confidence only comes when
Yes,
built a brand and when you have done it on your own personal conditions. And I
true,
think
true that.
we are no less than men when it comes to that. We just think women are better at finances, but it's not like that. I think women are far better than we've got the integrity, we have the ethics, we have the values, we're intelligent, we know the guard, we know that all that we कैसे करना, all that is so important in
True, true.
personal
True, true. So tell me something now. I can go into the documentation and where, how do you register yourself and all of that. But I think we can probably share links where people can check that out. But what I wanted to know is what what are the kind of challenges you face? I mean, are there expected things that come, hit you in the face, or ये पता नहीं कहाँ से आ गया मैंने तो एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं किया था. Is there something like that happens? Shito, you tell me.
Every day. I remember my entrepreneurial journey. It's like every day there is some new thing, you know. It's actually, for me, I had come from an employee background again, 12 years back when it started. So uh, the mindset was the biggest thing, I would say, as a
Ah,
entrepreneurial mindset that one needed to have. I think that's the first challenge and the biggest one at that. Okay, there are lots of other things, right? That once, how do you start? Where do you register? What about taxes? There's so many things actually that kind of overwhelm you as you start the journey. And I think it was for me as well. Suddenly, when you start without any know-how, I actually went jumped into it in that sense, you are like you are kind of lost because you never first you don't have the mindset for it to begin with. Two, every day there's a new challenge that you didn't know about. uh, till then you were focused on one area, like, of expertise. And as an entrepreneur, suddenly you have to be like a CEO of your company, right? So you
ah,
have understanding of all the functions of your business, right? Everything.
true. Very important.
So yeah, very, very important, right? I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you need to understand accounts, finance. You need to understand marketing. You need to understand ops. You need to understand so many things about your own business, sales. They're just endless. Like in her case, it would be sending packages and so many other things. So it's just like e-com, and there's so many things. Like in my case, it's the service business, so it was a different thing. But imagine you have to understand every function of the business, and you need to have some understanding, and you need to start from scratch in so many areas. So it can get a
Yes.
little overwhelming. Having said that, I think it's also very important. What I learned is over the years initially, also understanding your own limitations, and not
Ah,
trying to do everything, because I think that's a lot of new entrepreneurs do that, right? Just jump into it and do everything, from jhadu to paying bills to 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 meeting clients, to selling, to doing, because that's how you start, right? You start like as one.
that's how you start.
That's how you start. So it can be very overwhelming at that time. But I think one biggest learning that I had is just an understanding of your strengths, and what you have a basic understanding of all the functions, but also have a true understanding of where your expertise lies, what you are good at, and where are the
Yes.
gaps. and then fill the gaps strategically, find partners or employees, smart employees, or find people whom you could partner with, or like it, and I think it's more than anything, I feel entrepreneurship is like an amazing school in itself, like the kind of learning I had
Absolutely.
out of another
The for one person who has done it all, who we have examples of, is Shabia, who used to mix her own soap mixtures, boil them, mix them, package them, write them. Or she was all in all out there. Okay, this has been a wonderful conversation. There's a lot more to talk to you about, but time is like a big thing for us. So before we end, I want to know, what was your go-to mantra? So each one of you, Shabia, you tell me, what was your go-to mantra when you were running your business? What woke you up every morning? Shabia, you tell me, what was your go-to mantra when you were running your business? What woke you up every morning?
So I'll tell you one go-to mantra for life. Okay. Everyone looks at a clock saying that, okay, I have, these many, I have passed, I guess today I got 50. So for me, the death, I call it a death clock. I say, oh, if my mother lived till 67, now I have 17 years more. So why am I not running towards my dreams? So and I don't mean it in a cynical or a negative. I'm the most positive person, very big, believer in manifestation and positive energy. So for me, it is like, मुझे किसी को कुछ प्रूव नहीं करना है, मुझे सिर्फ खुद को प्रूव करना है। जिससे मैं ऊपर जाऊंगी तो भगवान थप्पड़ ना मारे कि मैंने तुमको इतनी अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटीज दी, तुमको इतना अक्ल दिया, और तुमने क्या किया? रोटी
क्या किया?
bang on.
Wow.
I don't believe in that. I think I have so much of talent and so much of that I want to do so much, and I want to do so much in these 70 years which I have in this site, that every woman who looks at me and reads my stories says, "Man, she was a badass." Yeah, yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is one reason why, Shabia, I don't know whether if I'm cutting you, but one reason why we keep going back to Shabia. Shabia, we want you to come because we know that she'll have something to share with us. But one reason why we keep going back to Shabia. Shabia, we want you to come because we know that
क्या कहेंगे, और मैं मुझमें बिलीव करती हूँ। पहले सब पूछेंगे कि भाई क्यों कर रही हो, पागल हो गई हो, बाद में पूछेंगे हाउ डिड यू डू इट, नाउ when I have sold my company or divested my whatever, a lot of people ask me, अरे ये कर लिया तूने,
ये कर लिया है.
I think we bother too much about what other people think of
लोगों
us.
का काम है कहना.
In family, everybody. I think you should do what keeps your heart beating, what brings a smile to your face. Even today, when I get a message from someone saying, "Oh, I miss your soap," or "I love that," I think it just makes my day. That's entirely mine.
Awesome. Awesome. You tell me, Shitu, what was your mantra?
I think I, as a person, I demand a lot from myself. Like, I have this whole quest of checking. Let's push more. Let's see my potential. Let's see what else I can do. Let's see. So I think that spirit somewhere, like that is something that kept me alive, even keeps me alive now, in terms of like, let's try this, let's do this. Maybe it's okay if you don't know this, you'll be able to learn, do more, so you learn more. So that is my internal dialogue largely. Also, the second thing is doing doing the best you can at that time. The every day, I think it's about that. Like, do your best. Don't do half best, or don't do 99% or 99.9% also. Give your 100%, so you don't live with any regret later on. You don't feel wo maine 0.200% nahi kiya tabhi, So I think that's something that was my mantra and always is,
Awesome, awesome. It's always nice, and it gives me a refreshing feeling when I talk to women like you, because one is, while they say that women fight with each other and women try to pull each other down, I think conversations like these are what really inspire us, which which make us want to do more. And I always look forward to conversations like these. So thank you, Shabia. Thank you, Shitu.
Thanks so much,
You made this
Vandana.
conversation so beautiful. Thank you. And let's truly, work towards accelerating progress for women in our individual spaces, together, collectively. But let's do something. So thank you again, Shabia. Thank you, Shitu. It has been a pleasure talking to both of you.
Thanks, Vandana. Thanks for having us.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So, dear friends, how was that conversation? It was amazing talking to two beautiful women, two amazingly passionate entrepreneurs, two amazingly passionate ladies who have given so much to society, not just by their individual contributions, but I think by the kind of work that they have been doing. And I couldn't have learned more from any other book. I think having conversations with these women is important, and I think we should call them back again once more for a longer duration. But let us now move on to the next segment of Laja TV. Every month, we also celebrate the Laja Growth Platform members. And every month, we call on one Laja Growth Platform member to come here and share her story. And she will not just share it like that. We have another LGP member, the Laja Growth Platform member, who will ask her questions and get us answers, which will tell us what Laja is, how these women are growing, and we take great pride and joy in these Laja Growth Platform members. So let me first invite Betty Almeida on screen. Betty Ranjit. Sorry, Almeida is her maiden name. So Betty Ranjit, she is an amazing LGP member. She's taken a couple more. She's joined me earlier also, so you know who she is. And there she is with her beautiful smile. Betty, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vandana. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So the stage is yours. Please call your guest.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone, and welcome back to Laja TV. This is the first of the month, and today I get to introduce one of our amazing Laja Growth platform members. Today we have a complete rock star. She's Priyanka Shah. Priyanka, you're on mute. Hi, Priyanka.
Hi, Betty. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
So,
Doing
Priyanka,
good.
tell us something about yourself and your work.
Okay. So, Betty, nowadays there are many issues like mental stress, uh, depression, anxiety. ओके सो ज्यादातर क्या हो रहा है कि लोगों में, बच्चों में, बड़ों में, हर किसी में स्ट्रेस लेवल इज ग्रोइंग अप. हर किसी चीज का स्ट्रेस होता है, हर किसी चीज का टेंशन होता है बच्चों में, बड़ों में. लाइक इट्स लाइक हर किसी के पास कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ ना कुछ टेंशन है.
Yeah.
और पहले इतना लोग प्रेशर या टेंशन को इतना हेवीली नहीं लेते थे, बट अभी कुछ ज्यादा सीरियसली लेते हैं. सो मेरा बेसिकली ये फंडा था कि मुझे ये जो मेंटल स्ट्रेस है उसको कम करने के लिए मैं क्या कर सकूं. So I have started my brain power classes with two major courses. One is mid-brain activation workshop and DMIT counseling. Along with that, I have started with teaching 30 different type of Rubik cube. So क्या है कि क्यूब है जो एक फिजिट का काम करता है. हमारा स्ट्रेस लेवल, स्ट्रेस बस्टर है एक्चुअली. बच्चों को क्विक थिंकिंग एबिलिटी, वो लोग में एक अलग सा कॉन्फिडेंस देता है, उन गैजेट से दूर रखता है. सो बेसिकली आजकल जो स्ट्रेस लेवल और ये टेंशन लेवल ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है, वो बेसिकली इट इज ड्यू टू यूजिंग मच मोर टाइम और स्पेंडिंग मोर टाइम विद द गैजेट्स. सो उस वजह से बच्चों में ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है. और रूबिक क्यूब एक ऐसी चीज है जिससे बच्चे गैजेट से काफी हद तक हम बाहर ला पाते हैं और उससे दूर रख पाते हैं। सो मेरा मेन फोकस था कि लोगों को जो ये आजकल अल्जाइमर का भी काफी इश्यूज आ रहा है। अभी तो 40-50 की एज में लोगों को भूलने की ज्यादातर फॉरगेटिंग थिंग्स उसकी इश्यूज होने लगे हैं। सो जो ब्रेन फिटनेस है उसके ऊपर मेरा ज्यादा फोकस है। सो आई एम मेजरली टेकिंग ब्रेन फिटनेस एक्सरसाइजेस कोर्सेस, like I'm into many modalities also: reiki healing, crystal healing, switchword healing, sound ball healing एंड टेरो रीडिंग। सो बेसिकली मेरा मेन फोकस है कि हमारे मेंटल स्टेटस और ब्रेन फिटनेस को कैसे हम बरकरार रख सके, जो अभी ड्यू टू यूज ज्यादातर यूजेज ऑफ गैजेट्स की वजह से हमारा ब्रेन फिटनेस लेवल कम हो रहा है। पहले हम काफी सारे कांटेक्ट नंबर्स हमें बाय हार्ट होते थे, सबके बर्थ डेट्स बाय हार्ट होते थे, हमें एवरीथिंग इज लाइक हमारे मुंह जबानी याद रहते थे। अभी इज लाइक के घर के लोगों के मेंबर्स के फोन नंबर तक हमें याद नहीं होते,
Absolutely.
हमारे घर के लोगों के बर्थ डेट्स तक याद नहीं होते। इट्स लाइक जस्ट जैसे ही मोबाइल में रिमाइंडर आया, दैट टाइम वी रियलाइज कि अच्छा इसका बर्थडे है, अच्छा इसका नंबर, सिर्फ नाम देखा कॉल किया। सो वो हम प्रेशर वो हम लोग ब्रेन से वो काम करवाना छोड़ रहे हैं
Very true.
जस्ट ड्यू टू दिस स्मार्टफोन्स एंड ऑल।
Yeah.
सो काफी सारी ऐसी अलग अलग एक्सरसाइजेज है जिससे हमारा जो ब्रेन फिटनेस लेवल है उसको हम मेंटेन कर पाए। सो माई सेल्फ प्रियंका शाह, आई एम द फाउंडर ऑफ ब्रेन पावर क्लासेस। सो अंडर दिस क्लासेस मैंने ये सारी मोडालिटीज और बच्चों के ब्रेन फिटनेस के डिफरेंट क्लासेस स्टार्ट किए हुए हैं।
Okay. Wow. No, that's amazing. And thank you. I'm very, very grateful to Priyanka for helping my son get hooked onto the Rubik's Cube. He went on to learn 10 different Rubik's Cubes from you, Priyanka, and he's really hooked onto it. And he went on to learn new ones all by himself. Like, he really
Right.
went ahead and he kind of learned 2 new cubes all by himself by just watching some videos. So it was so, I mean, the way you taught, it was so easy for him and he kind of got hooked on really fast. I didn't expect him to kind of, go ahead and get hooked on. But yeah, thank you so much. Because I think as a teacher, you were like wonderful. And he's like, anything I tell him to do with you, he's ever ready to do so.
Yeah, that I know, because you have told me that कि अगर आपने बोला है then he is ready to do any courses.
Yeah. True. That way you're
He is a
amazing.
wonderful child and उसका भी उतना input उसने दिया है and it's like कि कैसा है कि ये भी एक type का addiction है.
Yeah.
Once it's like, but this is a good positive, बोलते हैं ना positive
Right.
addiction,
Yeah.
कि उसमें उनको बेनिफिट्स भी हो रहे हैं, ओके, एंड अलोंग विद दैट दे आर लर्निंग समथिंग, उनसे वो लोग गैजेट से दूर रह रहे हैं, प्लस वो लोग इवन कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस भी उनमें ज्यादा आती है, उनके
Right.
फ्रेंड सर्कल में उनको थोड़ा अपने आप को थोड़ा ये लगता है कि नहीं, आई नो
I
गुड।
no, he's also now, he even asked me to this. He's also started entering into competitions and he's into speed tubing and all. So, yeah, very grateful to you, Priyanka. That's amazing.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Yeah. So, how long have you been with Laja and what have you learned from?
Okay, so with Laja, it was a wonderful journey. I guess जब से लज्जा की मेंबरशिप, उससे पहले ऐसे ही थे हम साथ में, बट हम एक ट्रैकिंग इससे जुड़े थे, लज्जा के विमेंस स्पेशल ट्रैकिंग ग्रुप लेके गए थे विमेंस के लिए। सो तब से मैं लज्जा के साथ जुड़ी हूँ। मैंने पर्सनली पहले काफी ग्रोथ किया है, पर्सनल के साथ साथ मुझे मेरे काम में उसको मैं कैसे एडवांसमेंट अपने काम में लेके आऊं, अपने पर्सनल लेवल पे तो मैंने फिजिकल और मेंटल फिटनेस काफी काफी हद तक मुझे लज्जा से मिली है। अलोंग विद दैट मेरे बिजनेस की भी बोलेंगे कि फिटनेस मुझे लज्जा से मिली है, या like holding my hand, like I always say कि it's like a kind it's a mother kind of a touch. Okay, जहाँ पे जरूरत होती है दे आस कस के नहीं, ये ऐसे नहीं ऐसे करना है। जहाँ पे जरूरत होती है जो हेल्प की, ओके, कैसे करना है, दे डू नॉट स्पून फीड अस, बट
Yeah.
डेफिनेटली दे हैव ऑलवेज hold our hand, and they take us one step further, every time one step further. We always feel कि okay, बस अभी इससे ज्यादा क्या होगा, but always they have one vision ahead than us, कि हमने जो हमारे बिजनेस के लिए जो सोचा है उससे एक स्टेप ज्यादा हम आगे कैसे बढ़ सके. So they are always
Guiding.
blessing angels, and we can say we are getting guidance from them.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling really blessed that I am associate, or I am a member of Laja platform member.
Yeah, no, that is amazing because, yeah, they do handhold and they give us constant guidance whenever we get stuck in our business, our personal, or even mental health regarding. So, yeah, Laja is always there for us.
Yeah, that's so true.
Great, great. Thank you so much. It was lovely to hear this about Laja. And yes, Betty, Priyanka, and I too have grown here at Laja. It's become a family, you know. We are not looking at mentors, we are not looking at, somebody who has founded it or somebody who runs it. We know that we can reach out to not just our founder, Riddhi, but to each other too. And I think that makes a big, big difference. So yes, thank you, Betty. I don't think I introduced you properly. So Betty, folks who are listening, Betty is a transformational therapist. She's an oracle card reader. She's an inner child therapist and past life regression therapist. So that is Betty for you.
Thank
And yes, so this has been another amazing event, another amazing episode of Laja TV. The August episode has been beautiful, and we had 4 beautiful women joining us. And I look forward to the next ones next month. But before that, remember that your growth depends entirely on how much you want to invest in it. All right. So, with that, I take leave. Thank you. Good night. Take care. And see you on September 1st. Bye bye.